Hello and welcome to another Arkeys video and to a new daily race A on Gran Turismo 7. We are at Alsace, the full track. We haven't had the full track for a while in race A. It's only been the weird test track, and we are in the Alpine 110. This is a fun car to drive once you get to know it a bit, and it's a fun track to race as well. We're doing 3 laps here, and in this video I'm doing 3 races. As usual, it contains a bit of everything, but let's get straight into the first one. So this is the first available race of the week. I'm starting from the back just to be safe from the possible turn 1 carnage. And we are having a good start. Maybe some cars were confused whether it was a false start check or not, but just put the traction control on 1 just to get off the line, and off we go. We've got a bit of contact coming into turn 1. The French driver tapped into the Austrian driver. The French driver seemed to have several brake failure incidents in this race. We will get to those later. We are just tucking in behind. We need to get the right line into this corner because we would like to stay sort of to the left. I didn't really do a good job of that. I almost forgot where to brake, but we got the car stopped, didn't hit anyone, but suddenly I had a car on my inside there. I didn't see him until he was suddenly there. We are making room for him as well. We are making our way around this corner. There seems to be a bit of pushing going on behind me, and we've got a car off the track, and he was lagging so bad it really confused me. I actually braked way too early for this corner, so I've got these cars flying up the inside. All is good. The Austrian driver is making room for me on the outside there. So we are all surviving, and now we're coming into this weird downhill corner. You have to brake early and just let the car coast around the corner. Yeah, some contact going on there. It's a bit rough this first lap, to be honest. And now this long banked corner and some contact once again. I am getting too early of an apex there, so that compromised my exit a bit. Now we're coming into a really tricky braking zone, and they are really going at each other ahead of me. And now the French driver just slams into the side of Spec Tuber there. That wasn't the most elegant driving I've seen in my entire life. I am getting sandwiched a bit between 2 cars here. We make our way up the hill, and we're coming into another tricky braking zone coming down the hill, and we are coming over a slight crest and turning a bit, so you have to brake early and have a look in the mirror. I'm happy I made the corner, because that either was complete brake failure or a proper takeout. I am struggling a bit to make the final corner. I have to catch up to the 2 cars ahead, and we are jumping ahead. This is exactly 1 lap later, and this was the fastest lap in the race, but I still have to catch these guys, and to be honest, not much else to report in this one, apart from me missing an apex there. I couldn't catch them. They have swapped positions, so we've got Dav in P1, Chicken Angel in P2, and I finish in P3 with a nice handbrake turn across the line. Now the second race out of the 3. Now I have set a time. I managed to get pole position in this one, and I've got Chicken Angel on the inside starting position, but I know I can trust him. I might have been a bit slow around the first corner. I flashed my hazards just to say thank you for the patience, and we carry on. I am braking a little bit too late here, so I am actually running wide. Chicken Angel is getting really close now, and I'm almost running off the track as well. So I just need to brush off the pole position nerves on the first lap here and get into some sort of rhythm. Chicken Angel is hanging on to me. He is as fast as me on this track. I have maybe braked a bit too early there, but at least that was as close as you can get to that fence on the inside. We are making our way into this downhill corner, braking at the start of those arrows on the right hand side, and just let the car coast through the corner up to 4th gear. And at this point I was starting to pull away a little bit, but this is definitely not over yet. This is a tricky braking zone. It's almost like a 2-step braking zone. You're braking a bit, then you have to get the weight shifted so you can finish the braking and make the corner. And here it's mostly lifting off and the car will sort itself out. This car actually has nice rotation once you just let it coast through the corners. Don't try too much trail braking, it will just run wide. And speaking of running wide, I was coming in a bit too hot, but Chicken Angel is hitting the wall on the final corner. So this should be a safe win, but it wouldn't be an Arkeys video if I didn't mess up at some point. And this should have been a warning. I'm coming in a bit too narrow and I am not coasting as much as I'm supposed to. Almost ran wide there, but I survived that corner and we are still leading the race. And now you can see Chicken Angel is getting the fastest lap by quite a bit in this one. And I am messing up now. I'm starting by getting in a bit too narrow. That means the entry into this corner will be a bit awkward. And once again, you can see I'm way too early on the throttle. The car just pushes wide and I've got a big slide on there and in the wrong gear. And I just have to bail out of this one and just filter in behind Chicken Angel. And maybe I can do something before this race is over. We're coming into this corner. Can I get the car rotated this time? That was actually okay, and we are keeping up with him. Now, once again, we've got the downhill corner. Make sure to brake at the start of those arrows and just let the car roll through the corner. I'm getting really close now. And we've got the bank corner coming up. I am trying a wide entry. I don't know if that's the right way to go, and it got a bit too wide, but I am getting close once again. And I've got some more speed, but there's not really anywhere to go with it unless I want to make a really big car crash coming into the hairpin. So I backed out a bit there. Let's just get around the corner. It has been a fun race so far, and me messing up, that was just my own fault. And you can see Chicken Angel is getting a better run, and this is game over. I even forgot to do a handbrake turn over the line. I was a bit annoyed that I made that mistake, so we just have a final go and see if I can do something in this one. And now we've got Woody Boy in the race. He usually sets some really fast qualifying times on these combos, and I'll just see if I can even keep up with him. We are making our way around turn 1, a nice clean turn 1 here at the front of the grid, always good to see. And now I just have to see if I can keep up with Woody here. Let's get around this corner, make sure I keep the car to the left hand side of the track so I can brake in a nice straight line. Just let the car roll into this corner, maybe a tad bit early, and I almost did it again on the exit there. A bit too narrow entry and a bit too eager on the exit. By the way, the big tree we're going past now is a nice marker for when you can get fully on the power without running wide. And speaking of running wide, Woody is running wide through this downhill corner, and now I am right back with him. And maybe we can put a bit of pressure on him. Now we are coming around the banked corner, and I often tend to get a bit of an early apex on the first part of the corner, and that compromises my run out of there. You can see Woody is pulling away from me a bit. Here I am braking as soon as I can even see the start of the curb on the left hand side, and we both get a bit sideways. You can see Chicken Angel and the French driver are getting close to us and lifting off, coming up the hill. We are hanging on to Woody Boy. He's starting to pull away a little bit once again. Coming into the final corner section, that was a bit deep there, and we are getting a bit closer, but not the best run out of there. Now we're coming up towards turn 1, and I think I am hanging on to the brake for a bit too long, so the car is just running wide. Really just have to let go of that brake and let the car rotate by itself. But that wasn't the best run, and now we're coming into that same fatal corner that got me on the last race. I almost lose it here again, but Woody loses the car even more straight into the wall, and we are up into P1. and you can see Chicken Angel is right behind me now. I have to concentrate, and I am aware that he is there, so I am going to come in a bit too narrow and yeah, going straight into that fence on the inside. So now I've got Chicken Angel on my outside. I'm trying my best to just keep my nose in as we're coming into this left-hander. I have to leave room on the outside, make sure I don't slide wide, and as we're coming up towards the bank corner, I am fully ahead, but as I am watching this back during editing, as I come across to take the corner, his reaction behind me looked like I might have been a bit close there, so sorry if I was. Didn't get the best line through the bank corner anyway, and now I have to make sure to get the car stopped once again. Braking in 2 steps, and yeah, there's a bit of contact there. Chicken Angel was struggling to get the car stopped, but it was an honest mistake. He is backing out of that one, and we are making our way up the hill, and soon we will be coming into the final very tricky braking zone. Just trying my best to brake in a straight line, almost coming in a bit too hot, and the car goes a bit too sideways for my taste, but we get a good run out of these corners, and as the final lap of the race ended up being the fastest lap of this race, we are staying on board. I'm using the first arrow as a marker for coming into this corner. Just let the car coast so you can get on the power at the right angle coming up the hill, and make sure to keep the car to the left hand side using the arrows again. And here I am just trying to balance the throttle a bit, get the right angle out of here so I don't nearly die for the 3rd time at that particular corner. Using the large tree on the left, that one as a marker to when I can get fully on the power. Thanks to Tisney for that one. Now the upcoming corner, I am trail braking a bit too much, and the car doesn't like it. It's going to slide wide past the apex. You just have to get more off the brakes and just let the car rotate. Here I am doing exactly that. I can go up to 4th gear and we can power out of that corner. Now the bank corner, and once again I am aiming for a bit too early an apex. You are better off aiming for that lower tree there instead of the 3 taller trees on the inside, I think, because then you can get a better run out of that corner section. And as already mentioned, make sure to brush off some speed coming through the left hand bit, then slightly off the brake so you can brake again for the actual hairpin. Now the uphill corner, this is not my best attempt. I am running a bit wide on the apex there, but we're coming down the hill. Just make sure to brake in a straight line and brake earlier than you think. It's downhill, quite a steep downhill. A bit sketchy through the final corners, but we make it past the finish line, and despite making a handbrake turn, we just snatched the fastest lap in this race. This was a fun morning. Enjoyable car to drive, and I certainly think you should give this a go. That's all from me for now. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time. Bye bye.